class, Chris Haskins here with the realestateroundup.com, and today's going to be another flip tip for you today. Thank you for hanging out with me once again. We get an opportunity to hang out with a coaching client, Richard Rowe. What's up, my brother?
How you doing, Craig?
Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Today, our mission statement is to uplift the financial literacy of my fellow mankind through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Today, we're going to be covering a quick lesson on house hacking. House hacking. What is house hacking, and how do you do it? How do you get to the moving parts? In order for you to be a master artist, to architect your life, you got to learn first what the hell is going on. I'm going to tell you what it is before you can know how the moving parts to implement. The master artist has to know what the picture looks like. The master architect has to have the overview of what he's doing before he can implement the how-to. So that's what we did with Richard over the last few months, and I'm excited to talk to you about house hacking. Brother Richard, before we get to house hacking, I want to explain to my people what it is. House hacking, and I actually did this years ago before it was common. I did it back when I first bought my first place. Here's your house, Richard. You just bought your first house, right?
Yes, sir.
What's your monthly payment on that, brother?
The monthly payment is $900.
Monthly payment. $900. All right. So what Richard and I talked about a few months ago was his mortgage payment, which is not a lot. And when you're talking about mortgage itself, but before we get to the house hacking, tell me about the process of what you did to buy your first house, Richard.
So the process of buying my first house, actually, I went to the dealership and I met up with this lady that's called Angie.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was there, I was writing for a sermon. To preach, the Lord said to me to turn around and say real estate. So when I turned around, I thought it was odd. I thought I was going to look dumb, so I said real estate. A lady looked at me and called me. And from there, we went and looked at various houses because I wanted to invest in the house. I wasn't looking for a house to live in. I wanted an investment property. Well, we looked at various houses, like 10 houses before I got one. Anyway, 10? Yeah, 10 houses.
Okay.
So we got
driving around
and all that stuff, and we were looking from houses from downtown to uptown. So we finally found a house that was in the budget.
Okay.
And we found a house that was in the budget. We went ahead and closed the deal.
Nice. And the budget for you was what? What did you pay for it?
$130.
$130. That's a good first time homeowner price. I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. And I love it. Richard gets the patois for me today for all you islanders out there. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I love it. So, what we were talking, Richard called me a few months ago. He's like, well, when he first bought his house, I told him what I did with mine. And you don't have to do this. Matter of fact, I tell all my coaching clients about this strategy. What house hacking is, you're going to take your house, you're going to literally hack it up. And all you're going to do is rent out the bedrooms. So Richard can live in one bedroom, and you can either rent out both of them or rent out one. It's up to you, bro. It's up to you. What I did when I first started, I rented out both of mine, and I was making, my first mortgage was about the same amount, $900. I rented out both of my rooms for $450 each, and I had no mortgage payment. When I look back, I should have put more on my mortgage, but we'll get into that shortly. So we went over your payment. When did you decide that you wanted to do house hacking, Richard?
Actually, I was kind of skeptical about it. I had a friend who wanted somewhere to stay for the moment, so we wanted somewhere to stay. So I was charging him, say $300 because he was a friend.
So you already had somebody in there?
Yeah.
Okay. You knew him already?
Yeah, I knew
gotcha.
him.
Okay.
So I said, okay. But I was skeptical about it because I like my space, just like most people,
You like your space, like your
my
private.
space.
I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
And so I went to my bed. I got a dream about it. The Lord showed me a dream. And He showed me to rent the house. And be careful who I rent the house to. I was kind of confused, And it was a wonderful dream, but I don't know about renting houses. So I had to go to the guru, which is Chris. And I did share the idea with Chris. And then tell me how to go about it, and you helped me to go about it.
All right. So I like this dream. So God spoke to you in a dream about house hacking.
Yes, sir.
You got any more little details about that?
So I was in my room, and my room was rented out.
Your room was rented out?
Yeah. No, I was in my room. The room was rented
Okay,
out.
I gotcha.
So I had tenant in that room, tenant in that room. And I said, wow. So when I woke up, the vice spoke to me, said, I'm going to teach you how to have tolerance for people. You know?
Richard.
So I said, wow. You know, so I said, okay. That's when I called you. I said, hey, Chris, it's a good idea.
Richard, you don't like people, man. You want?
I have a short temper.
Oh, okay, your temper. I didn't know that about you. This will teach you tolerance.
Yes, sir.
Renting out your rooms will teach you tolerance. House hacking is nothing but renting out rooms. So, it's weird how God works. He will give you, and what's even more mysterious is you're getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting paid for him to teach you lessons, perhaps.
That's it.
Well, that's really nice. I like that. Now, why did you? Okay, I know you got the dream, but why did you decide to do it? What was your main goal in packing your house up?
I figured if I could have extra income coming in, because it's just like asking somebody for something, you know. So I said, if I could have extra money coming in, you know, it would create a mindset of being a businessman, you know. So I said, in order for me to be a businessman, I have to start. I have to have a startup story. So I said, this would be a good startup story. Let me feel it out, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool, Richard. I'm glad we're sharing this stuff. I didn't know you had these ideas in your head swirling around. So this is like a baby step for you, maybe pulling you to entrepreneurship.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you hear that, guys? So you don't have to. You know, I remember you vividly telling me to think big, big.
Yeah.
So how has your mindset changed to this kind of smaller thinking? Tell me a little bit.
So less is more sometimes, I believe. And then if you don't know how to swim, don't jump in the ocean. So you have to try, you know, then you know how to swim. So, because I always think big, I'm a big thinker.
You are, Richard. You're thinking so big. I got nervous when I first met you. You were talking about owning apartment complexes. I'm like, oh boy. Oh Lord. I mean, I think you should.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, now you're the master of your own dwelling. And you're a landlord with the same hat. You know, you just switch all hats. You own your own place. That's really sharp. I love it. Good for you, Richard. Okay, tell me about the house hacking process.
So the process was pretty much, you know, you helped me through the process. We had to interview people, you know, see who was right. Because even though you're a landlord, you have to pick and choose. Not that you're being prejudiced, but you have to take care, you know, make sure you take care of what was given to you by God. So you have to pick and choose. You have to run credit. You have to check backgrounds. You know, you have to do that's any good businessman will do. It's like a job. When you go for the interview, you know, they ask you a whole bunch of questions because they're looking out for the business. You know, in business, not really mixed with emotions. So that was a process, and we had a couple people, like 6, but we didn't like their vibe, so 5 or 6. So.
Oh yeah, that one guy. I didn't even want him to come to the house. Yeah. Forgot about that dude. Anyway, go ahead.
And the process, we just pick and choose who was the best candidate for the, you know, and person who have people person skills and all that stuff.
Okay. So tell me, so obviously I did a lot of the moving parts behind the scenes, but when you first met them, tell me about that little interaction when they came to view the property.
So when the guy came to view the property, he was a good guy, you know, he looked smooth, you know, you could connect with him from you know, so he had the manners, you know.
Okay, good.
So open the house, show him the house. He liked the house because the house was clean, you know. And as a landlord, as house hacking, you have to have a clean house.
Yeah.
You know, so you attract what you attract what
you put out. You attract what you pull out.
So clean house, and he was a clean guy too, so he liked the vibes and he felt at home.
Good.
So
okay, cool.
He wanted to move in ASAP.
That's right. Okay. Now tell me about your tenant. Tell me a little bit about where does it work, or do you know?
Yeah, he worked at the shipyard.
Newport News
shipyard.
Okay.
That's good income. Now he's from a foreign country.
Okay.
You know, so he's well groomed.
Good.
He have understanding. He have a mind of an entrepreneur too, also. But he live in Richmond. So
all right.
in order to travel from here to Richmond, because his job is closer to here, so he just stay here.
All right.
All the time, but on the weekends he's at Richmond.
Okay, cool. Wow, that's even better for you. So you get your weekends to yourself.
Yes, sir.
Man, you got a smoking deal, bro. All right, so your rent you rent the room out for how much?
$550.
Rent rooms, $550. Now, does that include utilities, Richard, or without utilities?
Utilities.
Okay, so $550 include utilities.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm gonna do some real easy math, my brother. So we got your mortgage payment $900 is your mortgage payment. Let's just say your utilities. You're giving me a ballpark number of what you think your utilities will be.
I say
Good God.
450 or 500.
Your utilities are $500 a month. Your water, electric.
Not that much. Light, and then you have to pay. I said taxes. No.
Taxes and insurance, yours are rolled into your mortgage payment.
So it's not really much. It's like
should be what, 200, right?
200, yeah, 2-3.
Good God. Okay,
Yeah.
let's say this.
I was including grocery in it.
No, he doesn't. He's not gonna eat there, is he?
Subtract grocery.
He's not. I'm talking about electrical,
Yeah,
water.
That's it.
You have gas,
Yeah, gas.
so it can't be no more than 200, really.
Yeah, 200.
Good Lord.
Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking
Food.
grocery. Yeah, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be up
200.
there. So we got 1,100. Now that's gonna be 200. He's not gonna use with so much utilities. Richard. He can only use so much water and electric because you're gonna be using it also.
Yep.
So let's say it goes up $50. So we got 1,150. So you're already spending 900 whether he lives there or not.
I'm not.
That's why I love this. So we got 1,100. All right, so 1,150 total out of your pocket every month. And then we've got, he pays 550.
550.
Oops. 50. That leaves you paying what, 550? $600. So your monthly outgo went from 900 to 600. Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that. I love it, Richard. I love how real estate works, how it comes together. It's like magic.
Magic, yeah.
It's like magic. So we got that down, right? So 600 a month. That's with one room. One room equals, well, let's say 550 a month brings in, and you still have your.
Another room.
That's right. Still another room.
I have another room.
So we got 2 rooms. Now, I don't know, Richard. Are you gonna? You didn't tell me you wanted. Then tell me about this. You didn't say you wanted to rent out the other room. Tell me about that.
I want to rent out the other room because if I could get, if my outcoming is 600 and I could get 550, then my outcome would be 50.
Now, don't forget your. Tell me about the size of the other room. Is it the same?
No, it's a little bit smaller.
Okay, small.
Yeah.
So I think we might need to lower the price on this one.
Yeah. Like how much?
I don't know. I have to look at it. This is something new to me. I didn't know Richard was thinking about renting his other room until yesterday. You kept asking me about have I had any other people call. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I already rented the room out. I'm like, so, room 2, let's say you get 400. Either way, you're to the good, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, either way, because now you're making 950. It's really simple. So you got, let's say you got another 50 in utilities, right? So now you got 1,200 going out minus 950. What's that, 9? Now you got 250. What's that, 950, 1050, 1150? Yeah, 250 outgo for you.
So the mortgage is already paid.
Mortgage is paid already.
It's paid already. So somebody is paying the mortgage.
Yeah, you pay nothing.
No.
You pay no mortgage, basically.
And that's why it's a good idea.
I love it.
That's a wonderful and great idea.
I love it, Richard. This is why I love real estate. Real estate has saved my butt every time. Say you lose your job, God forbid. You could still live here. You got 550. Let's say you got 400 there. And even if you had to give him a discount for inconveniencing him because he didn't know you were going to have another tenant, worst case scenario, you gave him a $50 discount. You still got your mortgage paid. You can live for free.
Oh, yeah.
And what I'm going to recommend to you, Richard, I wish I would have paid more on my mortgage on this 130. What you can do is, since you have 950 coming in, you can put more on your principal, which will pay down your principal quicker.
Good.
I know it may feel like a mountain right now, but I promise you, brother, as the days go on, I remember my first house I bought for $100,000. I felt like I was gonna be in debt for the rest of my life. And then after year 10, I had put more on my principal. And now I see I only have a few more years left on this mortgage, you know, and I'm done, you know, so it's all be cash flow. But I wish I would have paid more for the principal. I wish I would have paid more on my principal earlier in life. But how old are you, Richard?
I'm 24 now.
24. Okay, so you don't have to be old to do this crap. It actually works better when you're younger because you don't have kids running around.
None of that stuff.
You don't have a wife you gotta make happy.
None of that stuff.
Yeah, cool. All right, so how you liking it so far?
I love it. I think it's a good idea. Like I said, you know, your mind have to be trained, you know, and it teach you how to respect other space, you know, it teach you how not to be selfish.
Wow.
It teach you a lot of characteristics you're gonna need for greatness. Put it like
Wow. That is deep, Richard. You preaching today. Good God, you preaching today. Now, what would you say to newbies or people that have just bought their first house or someone that owns a house? What would you say to them, new investors?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, especially if you're an investor. You have to start somewhere. And not only that, if you're trying to invest in real estate, the money you earn that's coming in is extra money to put towards flipping, to put towards, you know, wholesaling, to put towards anything to make that big deal.
You said that, you maybe get some more signs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Get some more signs with the extra money that comes in and put the sign. So increase my chance of getting more rental.
Wow, that is so cool, Richard. I really love the way you're talking, brother. So any last comments you'd like to leave for our viewers?
Yeah, I think the last comment would be real estate is a good option. When you look at real estate made the most millionaires ever, you know, and I know Chris said I'm a preacher. Nothing wrong with having money.
That's right. God wants you to have money, dude.
Right.
He don't want you to be broke.
He's self-made.
Yeah, the first self-made. Yeah.
Right. So God is self-made. We're made in the image, you know. So you have to be self-made too. So it's not wrong with having money, but it's wrong when the money have you. You know, we always say that the money is the root of all evil, but it's the love of money.
The love of money is the
It's a love of money, you know, because when you love money, you do things to get it. You kill to get it because it's a love, the hunger, the thirst, right? You know, so you hurt other people to get money, but it's a good mindset, and I mean, especially for the future. You know, so
that is cool. I never thought about God being self-made. Obviously, he is, but that's a good one, Richard. I'm going to use that one.
Oh yeah.
So you saying people in the Word can get money too?
Yep. Get money too.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm sick of this attitude where people think that it's bad to be rich.
It's not.
Filthy rich. Everything is the connotations to get money. I'm like, people in the world need to get paid too.
Have to get paid.
You know? And you're offering a wonderful service to these guys. The guy your tenant was driving back and forth. What was he doing?
To Richmond. So every day from Richmond to the shipyard. So that's like 1.5 hours.
Good. One way?
One way.
So he was driving 3 hours a day
for work
to get to work.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's terrible.
Yeah.
So you really helped him out. He might have ended up getting into a car crash or doing something. You might have saved that guy's life.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. So that's your last thoughts you got there?
Yes, sir.
So anybody what are you going to recommend someone that is? What can you, being a new investor? You're a new investor now. You have income producing property and you have your owner occupied house. What are you going to tell people that don't own a house yet? What could you recommend for them?
See, owning a house is a good thing. You know, we always think when you say owning a house is like for people who are older. You know, but young people can start too, because the younger you start, the more chance you have of paying off your mortgage, especially if you do house hacking.
Yeah. You
know, so you pay off your mortgage very, very fast and will increase your risk of getting another house.
That's right.
So you'll have free income coming in. Nice. So it's a good idea, especially to start young, you know, get in the mindset of being an entrepreneur. Okay. You know, being self-made, so.
Good. Yeah. Cool, Richard. Okay. All right, guys, this is Chris Haskins. I got to ask you, Richard, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you got any comments or questions for Richard, just put them share them with the links below. If you have any other information that you can share with us about house hacking, please put that in the comments below as well. Richard, thank you so much for your time. It's Saturday. I'm getting ready to go to the beach. What you got? You hanging out the rest of the day?
Yeah, I'm just hanging out.
Good. All right. House hacking 101. Okay, Chris Haskins. See you next time, guys. Peace.